Okay, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Easy Markets Daily Pitch International with me, Darius, because today's the 13th of October, 2023, guys. So, it's Friday the 13th. But yeah, look, it's a regular Friday for us. Let's not be way too superstitious. It's just a Friday. I mean, look, if you're gonna think that it's gonna be superstitious or it's gonna be bad, then yes, it will be bad. So don't think that it's bad. It's gonna be a great day. So fantastic. Look, as always in these sessions, guys, we will have a look at the charts, some technical setups, just to see what's happening in general, economic data-wise. But yeah, before we go further, as always, we need to have a quick read through our risk disclaimer. So, yep, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. Look, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest. I'll disappear from that little left corner and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so now then, also just before we go further, as always, just a quick mentioning of our Easy Markets website, which you can always check out for more information about us. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us. Yep, feel free. So, guys, right, let's jump into the charts. We had quite an interesting day yesterday, as you know. We did get the US CPI figures, so I'll go into that in a bit when I'll jump into the US indices. But in general, look, for now, we saw a bit of a decline yesterday in the stock market, and I think that okay. I'll mention this that yesterday like I said, we saw a bit of a decline because I think that the market got spooked with more interest rate hikes. But just because of the inflation number. But okay, I'll talk about it when we get to the U.S. indices. So yeah, the market got spooked in the U.S. And yep, we saw a bit of a corrective move lower here on Nikkei as well. So after we found good resistance around here, I mean, that's all fine and nice. So that's all good and nice here. So yes, all okay. If you want to go further north, I mean, the same analysis is still valid. So if you want to go further north, then yes, a push above this territory right here would be required. And then yes, we could go further north. So in other words, if you're looking for some, let's say, higher levels, then a pop above the 32,563 territory is required. So yeah, if you're looking for some downside, then a drop below the 50-day EMA would be needed. And then, yeah, we could take it from there. So then we would kind of go for maybe a bit of a larger correction here to the downside. So in a way, a drop below the 50-day EMA could do the trick. More sellers could join in on a break below the 100-day EMA. So just keep that in mind. But at the moment, yes, we are also considering the upside scenario still, but only if we do pop above this highlighted zone. China 50. There we go. We flirted with this downside line beautifully, and we drift back down. So now it seems like my downside scenario could work out. And if we do fall below that 12,200 zone, yes, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the downside. Look, this morning we got some data from China, and that was like inflation numbers coming out lower. But there is like a little bit of a different story. So we had the CPI month on month and year coming out lower than the forecast, and actually lower than the previous. PPI also drifted further down, but again, well, further down. It actually it came out lower than the forecast, but not lower than the previous number. So what's interesting, trade balance, Chinese trade balance improved, it seems like. Yeah, came out much better. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yes. So, long story short, what's happening? Why there's, like I said, a bit of a decline here? Well, first of all, of course, that the U.S. market has declined a little bit. That's one thing. Another thing is the fact that, look, inflation did decline, and now we are actually on the year-on-year figure in China. We came out at zero. It came out at zero. And I mean, this is just confirming again that the worries of deflation in China are big, and they kind of have room. They have room, or they have presence to be. So that's why. Okay, at the moment, I think that the China index here could still feel the pain and could still drift to the downside. I'm not saying that very, let's say, radically or something like that. No. But if, let's say, it starts clearing some of these levels, I mean, yes, I'm leaning towards the downside. So initially, if we do fall below the 12,200 zone, my next target is at 12,107. That's the lowest point of, or the current lowest point of October. If that gets cleared, the forthcoming lower low will be confirmed. Yeah, and then we will go from there, basically. For the upside, I still need to see the same scenario playing out. I need to see a break of that downside line in order to go a little bit to the upside. ASX 200, so beautiful decline as well. I mean, this one is just amazing. Look at this. I mean, I've drawn the Fibonacci yesterday, and I said to you that, look, I'm going to aim for that 23.6, and if that gets cleared, then my next target is the 38.2 here, and boom, fantastic test here, the fantastic test of this upside line as well. So my question now here is, can we go further south? Well, to be honest, the fact that we've held above this steep upside line, that kind of creates this kind of little positive element here, and this kind of positive vibe that, you know what, actually that we could still see a move maybe towards the downside resistance line here, drawn from the high of the 27th of July. And then, yeah, we will just kind of take it from there. So long story short, I would say if we do climb back above the 50-day EMA right here, then yes, potentially more buyers could join in. I need to clear up the chart, I think, a little bit. But actually, no. You know what? I don't need to. I apologize for the amount of lines here, but I'll explain each one of them because I kind of still like each one of them. So this here, this 7,114, I still like it. It provided good resistance previously. So if we do climb back above it, then yes, I'll go a little bit to the upside here. And again, initially aiming for the 7,150 zone, and then so on and so on. So as my arrow is shown here. But the downside, I would now at this point, I would like to see a drop below the 7,040 or 3940 zone right here, which, as you can see, yes, we tested the 38.2, but it wasn't the kind of the main holder. It was actually this 7,039 level. I mean, look at this beautiful thing here. This is just amazing. Perfect hit, perfect test. I mean, I still like that level. I still do. Before, like I said, I looked at it as a good area of support. We cleared it. We went lower. Then I said I'm looking at it as a resistance. We cleared it nicely. We initially held, but then we cleared it, and then we moved higher. And now, like I said, I'm going to look at it as a nice area of support again. If we do clear it, then yes, more sellers could join in. Dow Jones Industrial Average, and there we go. CPIs, US, yesterday, higher than the forecast. So yeah, that's something that the market didn't like. And the reason why they didn't like it, because in a way this shows that maybe the Fed, you know, it's kind of giving that the Fed kind of room for still sticking to their idea of, let's say, you know, I'm trying to remember, quote unquote, but I think that's going to be impossible, where they like, we're at the moment, I think it's sustainable. However, we're ready to act when needed, if needed, you know. So it's like the same freaking, like the same thing, you know, over and over. And okay, look, that's fine. We will adjust to that. We will adjust to that rhetoric, and we will just continue, or, you know, adjusting to how whatever happens. And yes, If we need to give it a little bit of a sell-off, great, that's fine as well, no worries, but look, in general at the moment, what I can say here is that in a way the technical scenario is working out nicely. Yesterday I talked about this 33,936 territory. I said to you that if we do drop below this, I will consider a move lower a little bit towards that 33,757. And then yes, we tested it, and then I said maybe this this upside line could work here as well. And to be honest, as long as we remain below this 33,936 territory of mine here, I will stick to the downside. I will stick to the downside, and I will aim a little bit lower towards this upside line. But if we somehow climb back up above it, yep, maybe more buyers could join in. But I think I will also stick to my other game plan here for the upside. A push above the 200-day EMA and above the 34,128 zone could do the trick for a few more buyers. And more buyers could join in here and possibly aim for the 50 and the 100-day EMAs. So this is going to be my game plan. I know that this territory here could be a little bit of a wide one. Maybe we could be missing out on some territory, but to be honest, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Of course, just a sec. I'm gonna be the first one. Good morning, everyone. There we go, in the chat room. Yes, the first one in the chat room. Anyway, so coming back to let's say if we do break this upside line, this short-term tentative upside support line, I'm leaning a little bit more, even more to the downside. I'm going to be aiming further south here, but I think that at the moment we need to just keep an eye on this upside line and some of these other levels that I just talked about. So yes, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the downside here. What I'm interested in really is this weekly candle. I want to see how this is going to end. And look, on the weekly candle, we're very close to this 50-day EMA here on the weekly candle, and that's roughly around the 33,873. If somehow, by any chance, we do climb above this 50-day EMA and stay above it, maybe going into next week we could see that more of that positivity kicking in. And don't forget, like in the last week I talked about it, that everybody's talking about that like October, right? Not October, but Uptober. So basically everybody's hoping to see some sort of like positivity or something like that. And to be honest, there is room for that. Especially going all the way towards this downside line. This is my ideal scenario. I think that I need to draw this barrier here as an important one. So if we do clear it, great. Potentially more buyers could join in. That's what I'm going to be looking at here. S&P 500. Look, the S&P 500 here is keeping an eye on this 4,000, or at least I'm keeping an eye on this 4,372.73 territory. Yesterday we fell below it, but we failed to stay below it. So I need to see another drop here. Candles. Hi, good morning. Good morning to you. Happy to see you here. I hope you're having a wonderful start of Friday. And I hope everybody else is having a wonderful start of Friday. Look, the same story. I mean, look, I'm not saying that the downside scenario is off the table or the upside scenario is off the table. No, I mean, at this point, at this point, it's actually really 50-50. I mean, sometimes you can be like maybe 51-49 or something like that, but this time for me, it's really 50-50, and I need to see a push. Now, in order for me to consider some upside, I need to see a push above this 4,434 territory in order to get comfortable with some higher levels, and for the downside, a drop below the 4,372 would be required as well. So yeah, that's like I said, that's my game plan here at this point. I'm not really gonna do much. I'm just gonna observe the price action. Today, we don't have anything way too exciting. We do get some numbers, some Spanish and French CPI figures, but that's something more maybe for the DAX to consider. Maybe. But in general, export price index that's coming out of the US today, and kind of that's it, to be honest. I think today will be mainly driven by geopolitics, and it will be mainly driven by what's happening around the world. This kind of this mess, and well, we'll see how this kind of thing or everything will end up. But just bear with me one. But in general, yeah, as I keep on saying, that humanity doesn't learn from history. So we keep on repeating that, but okay, that's our human nature. Now then, NASDAQ 100. So looking at the picture here, what I would say here is that, look, if you're looking for some downside, then yes, a drop below the 50-day EMA here could be ideal. And in order for me to consider some lower levels, I mean, yes, initially I would need to see a drop below the 50-day EMA. That's first, and then aim for the 100-day EMA. And if that gets clear, then certainly, yes, further declines are possible. But at this point, look, at this point, I'm still targeting this downside line. Really curious to see if we can test it or not. But in general, I mean, if it's not even going to go there, or let's say if it's going to stay somewhere around here, you know what? I might just take a neutral stand and just kind of watch the price action and wait for and leave it for next week. So yeah, we will be heading into the earnings season. So today, I think the main focus, yes, could be not only on geopolitics actually, but also on the earnings. And look, today from the U.S. I'm talking about the U.S. earnings season. And today I think it was the financials. Let me just refresh my memory. Today, okay, United Health, that's one, but it's not a financial one. But and then you have J.P. Morgan, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, Citigroup. So yeah, these fellas will deliver today. Most of them in the morning. Yeah, so before the market open. Okay, let's see how those gonna trade. Might be quite interesting. So yes, this is where the volatility could come from. So just keep an eye on that one, guys. The German index, DAX, yes, so we drifted back down. Beautiful test. Look at this. Oh, this is like amazing. Because what I said to you yesterday, that if we do push and stay above this hurdle here, this 15,600, I'll target the 50-day EMA first, then the 100, and then I'll go further north. Well, the 50-day EMA got tested. Fantastic, good result here. And then we reversed sharply to the downside. This is quite interesting. So, and we, first of all, most importantly, we stayed below the 200-day EMA. And what does that mean? That means that there is a good chance to see maybe a bit of a drift lower. However, I will be very careful because, again, at the moment, it's nothing is clear, nothing is sure. And you know what? It might just kind of hang around here somewhere, just maybe start oscillating around the 200-day EMA. And if that's the case, that's no good. That's not good for me. I need... yeah, I need something, I need something like better, like something like a more clear breakout. So if I'm not going to get that, I'm just going to observe the price action and just wait until we get, let's say, a break of this upside line, and then we could go a little bit lower here. In general, I would say this way: as long as we remain below the 200-day EMA, I am leaning towards the downside here within this kind of area. Although I don't like to consider these areas, but hey, let's try to squeeze something out of it, right? But again, don't be surprised if we do push back up and we stay somewhere, let's say, above the 200-day EMA, but below this 15,600, and that's also not good for me. So I need something a little bit more clear. Maybe I'll just have to wait for next week, to be honest, on this one. Bursa Big Bull, morning to 2 morning. If I read it correctly, morning G, morning. Yeah. No, I'm just messing with you. No, it's all fine. Look, good morning. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to the 13th to everybody who's tuning in right now. Look, don't let that thought into your head like, oh, like Friday the 13th should be very, very unlucky, right? No, it won't be. If you don't think about it this way, no, it won't be. If something happens, this is just part of life. It could happen on the, on the 14th, and it can happen on the 12th. So, that's why I don't really try to program yourself straight away. That's Friday the 13th, and that's why that's it. You should just hide. No, just live your life, enjoy it. Honestly, like life's short. So yeah, that's this game plan with the DAX, FTSE 100. So yes, after we broke the downside line, great. My next target was this 7,700 zone. Fantastic tick, great. I'm as I said to you yesterday, I need to see a pop above this 7,704 zone in order to go higher. Well, at the moment, yes, I'm just waiting for that. If we want to consider some lower levels, well, this is where I need to take my downside line and reuse it. I'm going to recycle it to this. I'm going to recycle it to this upside line, make it an upside line. Always recycle, guys. As I keep on saying, there's a hidden message for you there. But look, if we want to, or let's put it this way, for me to consider a larger correction to the downside, I think, in my opinion, I like the 7,600 zone, to be honest, but I think I will start looking at some lower levels from around here, the 7,640 zone somewhere. I need to get rid of this, no longer needed. So yeah, I like this level, I like this little hurdle. If we do clear it, then yes, my next target is, well, my next target is are the EMAs here first, and then if those get cleared, then I'll aim for this upside support line drawn from the low, the 18th of August. Candles, just another day. Yes, absolutely, just another day, sure, but in those three words, I hear pessimism. It's like, just another day. No, another day. Always like take everything, take the maximum, because I don't know, how we need to like I said, we sometimes forget to enjoy life. We need to enjoy life. So just enjoy it, and yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know, like I said, just another day. No, it is the day that you will, I don't know, wake up earlier, something like that. But of course, you're already woken up. You have already woken up. So anyway, I think I'm going away from the topic a little bit here. So sorry for that, guys. It's Friday, honestly. It's trying to keep it positive, and yeah, and I'm trying to spread my positivity to you as well. So hopefully that helps. So yeah, that's the game plan on the FTSE 100. These are the levels that I'm going to be keeping an eye on for now. And yeah, if we do pop above the 7,703 territory for something like that, then yes, more buyers potentially could join in. Now then, US dollar, of course, the US dollar yesterday, boom, fantastic. Really enjoyed the higher inflation number, or sorry, should I say higher than the forecast, because the inflation number did not come out higher. It was the same as previous. But yeah, higher than the forecast. It really enjoyed that. And the whole speculation that, the Fed might jump in again and like, oh, we can, hike rates and stuff like that. Well, look, I said to you before, since from the last meeting we had in October, in the beginning, yeah, was it in the beginning of, yeah, beginning of October, I said to you, look, the 1st of November, I doubt that they will do anything. I mean, and it was clear, kind of. Now, this is when they can do it, in December, maybe, but also, I think it will depend a lot. And look, they said that they're going to do another hike by the end of this year. And if inflation started, like, let's say it flattened now, I would say, and it's like not dropping. So maybe this is what the Fed will be afraid of. And that's why maybe we saw that nice push to the upside, just because the market understands that if the Fed's target is 2% and inflation is now stuck around 3.7, 4, something like that, it's still far away. And I keep on saying this, that they could They will not abandon this idea of bringing inflation back to 2%. Yes, it might damage the market. Doesn't matter. Whatever. The whole point is to bring inflation lower. So yeah. Look, I think that the dollar is, the dollar took that into consideration, and or should I say, the dollar bulls took that into consideration, and there we go. We pushed above this downside line. I talked about this downside line yesterday. So in a way, long story short, for now, I am leaning a little bit more towards higher levels, and yes, as long as we remain above this downside line. In order for me to consider the downside, well, this 23.6% retracement on the Fibonacci looks quite attractive. I get it, a lot of territory to miss out on around here, but to be honest, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Maybe this 105.75 territory, which I just picked up on, this needs to go, no longer need it. So maybe this 105.75 territory could do the trick a little bit here. Maybe, but let's let's wait and see. But at the moment, like I said, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside gold. So yesterday, I talked about this little hurdle here, this 1885. If you remember, if you can watch my video from yesterday, I said to you that, look, I will be aiming for this target. This is quite an important, this highlighted zone. I'm aiming for that 1885 territory, and if it's going to hold, I'm going to consider maybe a bit of a retracement after that. Boom. Fantastic. Something got caught in my eye. Fantastic. Great result. Look, we drifted back down, and most importantly, we drifted back below the 50-day EMA. Oh, sorry, 50-day. The 50% retracement on the Fibonacci. So that's great. That's, in a way, great for the sellers. So maybe we'll see a bit of a retracement. However, don't really rush into anything, because as you can see here, my downside scenario is on a break of this 38.2. I get it, a lot of territory to miss out here, but to be honest, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So at this point, I'm not saying that I'm like excluding the upside scenario. No, the upside scenario for me will come if we start again pushing back above the 50% here retracement on the Fibonacci, and we then finally clear the 1885. Guess where we could go then? We could go towards the 50-day EMA here, and maybe the 61.8% retracement on the Fibonacci. And that's why I'm still having it on the chart. So just keep an eye on that. So that's why my downside scenario, guys, is on around here, around this 38.2, which is on my chart approximately around the 1862, 63, something like that. If we do fall below that, then yes, potentially more sellers could join in. So yeah. Silver, let's have a look at silver. There we go. Beautiful hold up. Honestly, everything is just working out nicely. I'm so happy. Yes, this I said to you in the beginning of this week. I said to you that, look, if we do climb back above this territory here, this 21.47, I'll go a little bit higher, test this this territory here, and if it holds, maybe a bit of a retracement back down could be possible. There we go. We're getting that retracement, or at least trying. So as long as we remain below this territory, there is a chance for this one to drift lower. However, for my upside scenario, I would like to wait for a push back above this highlighted zone, the upper one, and actually, to be honest, more of a back above this upside support line drawn from the low of the 22nd of June, and then yes, we'll take it from there. Oil, just a quick one. So yesterday, yes, the stronger dollar did not help here. Theodoru, good morning. Good morning to you too. Or should I say kalimera? Yes, so right, look. Looking at this picture here, I would say it's quite an interesting one, because look, the 100-day EMA once again is providing good support, and if we do fall below the 100-day EMA, this is from where we could start looking at some lower levels again, and yes, we could see maybe a test of this 200-day EMA, or maybe even below that. But look, let's not rush into things. Some of the levels, I can see that some of the levels start to maybe fail to work, so that's why I would prefer to keep an eye on my EMAs for now. So if I want to go consider some upside, I will wait for a push back above the 50-day EMA. If I want to look at some lower levels, a drop below the 100-day EMA would be required as well. Daredevil Dave, good morning to you too. Good morning everybody who's tuning in right now, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful start of Friday. We already talked about the fact that it's Friday the 13th, but don't allow this thought to get into your head, because this is nonsense. It's just as Candles said, just another day. Yeah. So look, that's the game plan for oil at the moment, so I'm just gonna take it simply. And look, if people are thinking right now that oil should blow up to the upside, and should kind of travel nicely to the upside because of the whole kind of because of all the geopolitical issues. No, there is still supply, and there is still a lot of supply, and it's not that suddenly there's yes, it jumped initially from after the weekend on Monday, but now it corrected back down. And I think that people do understand that we still have supplies. Still, Saudi Arabia is pumping, other countries are pumping, so there's enough of it in as I understood from what I read. So we need some sort of maybe just Saudis coming out saying that what, we're cutting, and Russia as well coming out saying what, we're cutting the supply, and then you will have a little bit more. But look, at the moment everybody needs to sell, everybody needs to finance themselves, so yeah, the moment I don't think that I think it'll hover somewhere around this region. In general, if we look at it from the technical perspective, this is looking a little bit more bearish, to be honest. So, and I'm kind of leaning towards that idea again, because look, if we do draw something like this here, there we go. So if we do draw something like this, then you'll see that we do have this this upside support line, which got broken, and now there could be more downside, and but for that we need to see a drop below the 100-day EMA at least, and then we'll go from there. Wheat, something that I'm monitoring very carefully, and this week I already talked about it. So maybe you don't like to trade this very often, but look, I do like to look at instruments which present themselves with a nice opportunity. And I think wheat is one of those. So as I mentioned to you yesterday, I'm keeping an eye on these two areas. So yesterday we were bouncing around here somewhere, near this 552 territory. I said that if we do drop and stay below this, I'll go a little bit lower. We dropped, but we didn't stay, and there we go. We saw a beautiful reversal. Now the question is, can we can see that we already are breaking this downside line, but again, this downside line is a little bit on the tentative side, because again, to be honest, it's not really clearly drawn. Maybe it should be this way. So, and then in this case, we didn't break the the downside line yet. So that's why to my rescue comes the 580 zone. If we do clear that one, then yes, potentially more buyers could join in, and we could aim for that 50-day EMA and then take it from there. So let me just grab this arrow. There we go. So Bitcoin Cash, very quickly. Bitcoin Cash, I like this one. I really do. And currently it's near the key support zone, near this upside support line drawn from the low of the 10th of June. So look, I've talked about the other cryptos, Bitcoin, Ethereum, yesterday. Those have already kind of showed their indication to go lower. Now, Bitcoin Cash is kind of lagging a little bit, and to be honest, it's kind of, I like it. I really like it, and let's see if we can clear this upside line. Let's see if we can follow the herd and just kind of drift lower, But if it doesn't do that, and instead pops back above the 225 territory, somewhere around there, then yes, I will start aiming for the upside again. Dogecoin, something that you don't look at very often, and look at this mess here. I mean, I have a lot of these lines here, and some of them I want to get rid of, some of them I want to keep, but you know what? I think, in my opinion, it's better to just clear up the chart here. So, first of all, I want to bring this one thing that I really like. It's this upside support line, which somehow is doing a very good job and providing that good support. So this Elon coin, Dodge coin, yes, I mean, we're waiting for some sort of a tweet maybe, or an X, and an X. We're waiting for an X. Sounds weird, right? I mean, I don't know. I really, but anyway, the world is changing, so Twitter is changing as well. So yeah, look, for now, I'm watching something around in the lines of this, among the lines of this. So if we do clear this upside support line drawn from the low of the 10th of June, then yes, more sellers could join in, and we could target some lower levels. Initially aiming for maybe for this little hurdle here. This oh, why is it like this? Why is it red? I don't like. There we go. There we go. Maybe we'll target the 0.5558 candle Z. Are you referring to the Dogecoin chart? Looks like mine. Bursa Big Bull. Yeah. So yeah, are you referring to the mess? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. So because sorry guys, I mean the comments are a little bit lagging sometimes, so sometimes just take that into consideration. Basically just maybe mention what you're referring to, like an instrument, which one, so that I would, like, because I'm talking and then I see that the comment comes through and then it's like a little bit of a lag, maybe, I maybe already moved away from that. Elon coin, yeah, I mean, yeah, Bursa Big Bull, yes, it is true. It is true. I mean, the guy is the only one that drives it. Honestly, like, I don't see anything else. I mean, and the U.S. dollar maybe, yeah. So yeah. Candle Z, yeah, the mess. Okay. So look, I like this coin. It's interesting because why? Because it's hilarious. I mean, it was made for fun, right? I mean, it kind of grew into something bigger, and it seems like it's one of those coins where it's like a spit to the financial system, which is quite good. I mean, interesting, but yeah, it's like I said, it's to all the craziness, right? And so it's like this rebellion coin, and in a way, it's okay. It's okay. It's good. I mean, it's still interesting. I don't think there's much value behind it or something, but it's just funny to watch this one too. But anyway, if we can speculate on something, if a trader can speculate on something, I think that he will just jump into it right away if he can see some sort of value. So yeah, look, at this point from the technical perspective, we have this upside support line. Yes, I need to see a break of it in order to go a little bit lower here. For the upside, I need to see a break of this downside line, which also coincides here nicely with the 50-day EMA. AUDUSD, there we go, AUDUSD. So fantastic. I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but look, I said to you that if this upside support line helps to keep the buyers afloat here, great. We could see, like a nice push back up here. But if we do get a break of it and we do fall below the 0.6365, then yes, I'll consider some lower levels. Boom. We got that move to the downside. My next target now is this one right here, the current lowest point of October, near the 0.6285. That's my next target. Let's see if we can reach that. If we can, great. If we can break it, even better, because a forthcoming lower low will be confirmed. And we could start aiming for, and by the way, we could start aiming for the lowest point of October, 2022. Yep, the lowest point of 2022. If we do clear that lowest point of October, and at the same time, we will create a new low for this year, because don't forget that the current lowest point of October is the current lowest point of this year. If that gets cleared, well, beautiful moves here for the sellers. Could be AUDNZD. So looking at the picture here, we broke the downside line. Okay, that's fine. Are we, let's say, staying above it right now? Currently, yes. But will that remain? I don't know, because again, maybe this downside line should be drawn somewhere like this way. So because maybe we have not been capturing the high correctly here. So that's what I'm saying. All these trend lines, yes, they do work, but sometimes they're very tentative, and you have to be very, very cautious. And that's why you sometimes need like a bigger break in order to kind of justify, because when it's like very close like that, it's like, here and there. No, it's just in our way, and it's just creating more problems in this for us, you know. So that's why, look, at the moment, look, I just lifted a little bit my downside line here because I wanted to capture this little high. So I think that this is maybe the way, but I still need to see that stronger move above this downside line in order to get comfortable with higher levels. If I get that, great. But if I don't, get that, then, well, maybe the downside scenario is not off the table, guys. So yes, keeping an eye on this 1.0644. If we do fall below it and stay below it, not like a false breakout as we had here the whole week, and last week as well. But yes, like a nice, good, strong move here, then yes, I will go a little bit more to the downside. AUDCAD, one of my favorite ones recently, and look at this beautiful thing. I kept on talking. I said, look, maybe this is an ascending triangle, right? Yes, according to all the TA rules, these tend to break to the upside, and potentially then, you know, we could start examining higher levels. But I said to you the same thing over and over, and I said to you, wait for that confirmation break. Did we get that? No. It was just a tease, and we didn't stay above it. So, yeah, that's why we are, you know, also not excluding the downside scenario. And this is exactly what I was talking about. I said to you that if we do break this upside line, I'll go to the downside. And I didn't have like a level here or anything. I was just kind of aiming for something near this territory, near the 0.8625 zone right here. And to be honest, I think I'm going to still stick to that, and I'm going to aim for this one. So in a way, this is kind of working out. If you've missed this move, just keep it. Honestly, just leave it. Don't rush into things. Just, you know, let's wait for another one. Maybe this is going to start forming something of a range here. Not like this, but something like this. So, something like this, maybe, yeah. So maybe it'll start forming something like this. Let's wait and see. So now, for example, what can you do here? What you can do here is maybe just to wait for a drop below this lower side, this 0.8625 territory in order to go lower. So yeah, I think that maybe that would be better, just to keep it like let it walk a little bit, and then we can do something about it. Maybe next week, actually. I think that would be better. USDJPY, so this one, yes, monster does not give up. It's still pushing higher. Look, we had that little drop here back on the 3rd of October. I think that the BOJ secretly intervened, yeah, and we got that sell-off. So now it's pushing again. So maybe BOJ will have to say something here, and maybe they will have to, you know, again do something, because we're getting closer again to that 150 psychological 150 zone. And I said to you before that, look, if we do break this downside line, I'm going to aim for that 150.16, roughly around there. Actually, mainly I'm aiming for the 150 zone. But now, if let's say if you missed this breakout, okay, that's fine. So I would say let it rest, let it settle. Maybe going into next week, we could see like a pop here above this 150.16 territory, and maybe there, you know, from there we could go a little bit more to the upside. But in terms of the downside, well, this is where you need to kind of look carefully. I have this upside line right here, which I want to consider still as a good potential kind of line, like in order to consider some lower levels. So maybe a break of this upside support line drawn from the low of the 31st of July, which, by the way, is a little bit on the tentative side. Look, maybe I'm trying to see here something that it's not there, but I'm just going to keep it on the chart for now. Let's see if it's going to work out or not. USDCAD, very quickly on that one. Beautiful move. Look at this. And look, yesterday I said to you when I was covering USDCAD, I said to you, look, my upside scenario is going to be from around here. And I get it. If you managed to capture this move here, congratulations. But this was like, it wasn't clear. I mean, look, I left this territory yesterday for some maneuverability. My downside scenario is still from around here, from around this 1.3575. My upside scenario is from around this 1.3695 zone. Yesterday, we've just perfectly hit that level and retrace back down a little bit. So we're still staying below this downside line. So in a way, if we do want to go higher, then yes, just a break of this territory is required. But at the moment, I mean, it could still drift back down here. It could, push up and down, and it's kind of a no man's game. But at the same time, it's very interesting because, like I said, we could see some nice activity here, maybe to the upside. Let's wait and see. USDCHF, beautiful rebound from this upside line. Look at this. I mean, this is just spectacular. I talked about this. I said to you, like, wait for it. Keep your eyes on this upside line. Maybe it'll provide good support. This is how it should be. Yeah, there we go. I mean, it's just picture perfect, honestly. So beautiful retracement here, back up, so that's fine. But if you're now looking at some, let's say, some higher levels or something like that, then maybe well, the fact that we are staying above all of the EMAs, that's of course giving us that positivity a little bit, right? Okay, that's great. Let's put it this way: as long as we remain above all of the EMAs here on this chart, I will continue targeting the upside. So any kind of throwback here could be classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of buying. In order for me to consider the downside scenario, a drop below this 0.8998 territory would be required. And then if we would at the same time we would break the upside line, we would break below the 50-day EMA. GBPUSD, there we go. Look at this beautiful thing. So whoever was long in GBPUSD, I hope you managed to get out, because yesterday I said to you, look, I'm kind of leaning maybe towards the more upside here, but I think that the kind of the move we already got here. So, we got that. So now I need to see a break of this downside line in order to go higher. And look at this, how well this highlighted territory is providing support, how well it's acting as a good area of support. So now if we do break below this, to be honest, my next target is the 1.2110, and then maybe lower. We'll see. But at this point, I'm just watching this highlighted zone here, this territory, which is on my chart here, between the 1.2182 and 1.22 levels, and then we'll go from there. If we do rebound back up, look, if we do rebound back up, my question is how far? Will we give it have a big rebound, or actually will we see something like a small little correction back up? Then on Monday we'll see another small little correction back up, and then on Tuesday we'll see another small little correction back up. And then basically this will form a bearish flag, and congratulations to the sellers. We could see some more downside. So again, this is just an idea. Let me just double check if something is coming out interesting on next week, basically. So Monday's so. Tuesday Tuesday UK's employment numbers are coming out. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. Average earnings are coming out. So maybe we'll see, we could see a correction today and maybe on Monday, and then boom to the downside on Tuesday. And also retail sales are coming out from the US on Tuesday. Okay, that's good. Oh, yes, next week is quite interesting, actually. CPI is from UK. GBPUSD. So, okay, let's watch now. So maybe the US retail sales might not drag this one anywhere, but okay, look, I'm just gonna leave this idea with myself, because basically my idea right now is to see maybe like a correction back up here a little bit on Monday. On Tuesday, yep, a correction still back to the upside, and then on Wednesday, boom, British CPIs come out. Maybe we'll get some sort of a surprise. Let's wait and see. Again, depending on how this is going to trade today, maybe it's going to drift back to, maybe it's going to drift lower straight away, and then we could ignore that crazy idea that I just mentioned, this bearish flag idea. But like I said, I am just throwing it out there so that you would know that there are possibilities like that. GBPJPY very quickly. So, yep, flirting nicely with my territory here, this 1.1060. Okay, that's absolutely fine. I talked about this last week. I said to you that, look, we have ourselves a key important area, like a range, like a descending triangle pattern of some sort. For the upside, I needed to see at least a push above the 50-day EMA. So, okay, we didn't get that. And for the downside, look, the downside scenario is more likely. Why? Because the prevailing trend before we entered this formation here, this range or descending triangle, whatever you want to call it, You know, we before entering here, it was the prevailing trend was to the downside. So according to all the TA rules, the breakout should happen to the downside. However, don't get me wrong, these things happened in the opposite direction too. But look, we are now flirting very well with this territory. So let's see if we can get that today. If we cannot get that today, I just told you when I was covering GBPUSD that a bunch of data is coming out on a bunch of UK data coming out on during next week, especially in the beginning of next week. EURNZD, just a quick one. There we go. Fantastic, beautiful move here back inside this falling channel. I talked about this. I said to you that if we do climb above the lower side of this falling channel, which I kept on the chart, I didn't want to really kind of I didn't want to kind of say anything, you know, like have like a level or anything. No, I just wanted to keep an eye on the 50-day, the 200-day EMA and this lower side of the falling channel, which I decided to keep, and so far it seems like working out nicely. So yes, we did push above it. So now and it's kind of going towards my target. My target is the is here, the 50 and the 100-day EMAs, and then I'll take it from there. For the downside, I need to see a drop below this 1.7542 territory in order to go lower. At the same time, we would break the upside support line right here, drawn from the low of the 12th of August of last year. EURJPY, just a quick one. There we go. We are not getting that breakout yet, so we're just stuck in that range. Okay, that's fine. With me, because for me, I'm gonna consider some higher levels if we do clear the upper side of the range. But we're not doing that yet, so okay, I'm just chilling. For the downside, I need to see a drop below the 156.87 territory in order to consider lower levels. And yeah, the same game plan, to be honest. I keep on talking about this one this whole week. Euro USD. So beautiful hold up. I talked about this yesterday with you. I said to you that in order for me to go higher, I need to see that push above that 23.6% retracement on the Fibonacci. Did I get that? Initially, there was like a fractional push, but then we didn't stay, and we sold off. And look at this beautiful thing. I said to you that if we do fall back below this downside line and we fall maybe below this 1.0558 territory, this kind of could open the door towards some lower levels. And to be honest, unfortunately for the bulls, I'm kind of leaning towards that a little bit. My next target is the 1.0483. I'm not saying that I'm going to be very, very bearish here. No, but I'm aiming for this hurdle first, this 1.0483. Not even yet to this 1.0443. No, 1.0483. A little bit higher than that. So, and then I want to see what's going to happen. Will we create some sort of like a higher low, maybe? Who knows? And do you know what happens with higher lows, right? Maybe then we could go for a higher high. But and then for that we would maybe break the downside line. But let's wait and see. Let's not rush into things. Singu 13, Flux Light. Please explain. Honestly, I thank you for the comment, but Flux Light doesn't ring a bell for me. Sorry, maybe I'm old-fashioned. Maybe it's just like a new slang or something like that. But you know, this is where I will say, back in my days, you know, we didn't have them, like phrases like that, you know. So anyway, look, with Euro USD, I would like to get like that breakout first for above the 1.0635 territory, above that 23.8% retracement on the Fibonacci, and then I will go a little bit higher. And because at the same time, we would break the downside line. However, at the moment, the upside scenario is slightly off the table. And that's why I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards the downside. Okay, sorry. I understood. Hey everybody. I'm actually, you know what? You can have your conversations here. I mean, just yeah, it's all fine. It's all okay. But look, that's it. That's it for this session. I really hope that you found it useful. I really hope you you know, managed to pick up something. Look, the okay, candles. Thank you very much. Yes, promote. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate that. look, like I said, thank you very much for tuning in and watching this until the end. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much for sticking with me this whole week. Thank you once again, I keep on saying thank you very much for killing an hour of your life with me today. So yes, I hope you'll have a fantastic trading day today. Stay safe, have your stop losses in place. Have a great weekend. I honestly, yeah, okay, I need to learn how to say that one. But yeah, thank you very much. NZD USD, very quickly, honestly, very quickly. Let me just it was not on my list, but let's see if I can look. It's the same story as with AUD USD. It's kind of not really it's the same thing, honestly. It's like that's why sometimes I don't pick up on the same thing, because AUDNZD and kind of this fella, these, look at this. I mean, they're like in a way working in a similar fashion. So if I said that I'm leaning a little bit more towards the downside on AUDUSD, I'm also leaning a little bit more towards the downside on NZD USD. Sorry for the speedy analysis, but like I said, it's just kind of similar fashion. It works in a similar fashion. But yes, once again, have a great day. Stay safe. Have your stop losses in place. Risk only what you can afford to lose. Don't overtrade, and everything will be fine. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you on, Monday, 6 o'clock GMT time. Bye-bye. Hey there, thank you very much for watching this one till the end. I really appreciate that. So, like this video, we speculate your next mouse movement will be towards the subscribe button.